welcome to another episode of Cooking with Taylor. Today is going to be a quick video. These are going to be more of not really showing you like how to cut things and stuff. It's more of if you know what you're doing, you know how to cut things. I've got step-by-step photos in here. These are just meant to be really quick run through and fairly easy recipes. It won't take you very long to do. We are going to be making, it's essentially home style chicken noodle without the noodle. So it's just chicken and vegetable. I am using a 2-quart crock pot. So it serves 2 to 4 people with it. I used chicken broth, cream of potato. You can get the can of the mixed vegetables, or if you've got individual cans, just scoop out little bits at a time. The amounts are going to be more of what you want, what you feel comfortable with. Some people like more celery, some people like more carrots. It's really going to come down to how much of each thing that you want. The mixed vegetables I am using is green beans, carrots, a little bit of potatoes, celery, and lima bean. And then I use just 1 chicken breast that I thawed out for the most part. It was mostly thawed out before I cut it. You are then going to open up all of your cans. You're going to put in 3 cups of the chicken broth. You're going to do half a can of the cream of potato, so I'd say about 2 spoonfuls. The mixed vegetables is the 8.5 ounce can. You're going to do the whole can of that. You are then going to take a little bit of cabbage, and you'll see here compared to my hand that it is, I really cut like maybe a quarter off of the head of cabbage. And then you're just going to chop it up on how big or how small you want it to be. Some people prefer it to be really shredded, like with coleslaw. I kind of like it in between where it's like the strips and the shredded. So I cut it long ways, and then those long ways I then cut inwards, so I'm almost cubing it in a sense. I also added in half a can of green beans. I like green beans, and I felt like my can of mixed vegetables didn't have enough green beans in it, so I took out one of my extra cans of green beans. I'd say it's about a spoonful, about 1 to 1.5 spoonfuls of the green beans. You are going to put everything into the crock pot together, mix it up really, really well so you don't have one thing sitting straight on the bottom. Mix it up really, really well. If you wanted to make it a little bit thicker, have a little bit of creaminess to it so it's not so brothy, you could always add in what I have is the Heinz brand signature gravy. The one that I'm showing here is roasted turkey flavor. They do also have, I think, chicken and beef flavors as well. And it's just jarred, pre-made gravy. That'll give it almost like a roast chicken and potatoes kind of taste to it. You can also do half and half or heavy cream. Do about, I'd say, a quarter of a cup max of that. And then that'll just add creaminess to it. You'll get a little bit of a different flavor, a little bit of a different texture to it. Then when we get to the chicken that is either completely thawed or is mostly thawed, I recommend taking it out of the freezer the day before and setting it in your fridge. So you have at least 24 to 48 hours of it sitting in your fridge so it can thaw out. I last minute decided to do this, so I took it out of the freezer and put it in a bowl of hot water to try and get it to thaw out enough. The temperature from the crock pot is going to finish thawing it out and cooking it through. when I got it mostly thawed. And mostly thawed, what I mean is you can feel the center is frozen, but you can bend it. You can move it. It's not like rock solid. So you'll be able to actually cut through it. What you're going to be seeing here is I took that chicken breast and I cut it long ways into the strips. And then I took those strips and cubed it. I cubed the chicken. If you prefer strips, or if you want it much tinier pieces, or if you want it ground, you can do that. Do it however you feel comfortable doing it. People like texture. They like different things with texture. Do it how you want to do it. This is a recipe that's very much, you can change it to however you want. This is more of like a base where you can start off at and go from there. Once you add the chicken in, mix that in really well. And then I added in a little bit of salt. I'd say it's a very small amount, couple of pinches of salt. And then I like a lot of pepper in my soups and stews. So I do probably closer to like a half a tablespoon of pepper in mine. But this is, seasoning is to taste. If you don't like things salty, don't add the salt to it. If you can't stand pepper, only add such a tiny, tiny pinch, or don't add any in at all. Once that is mixed up, you are going to turn it on high, and you're going to let it cook on high for a minimum of 4.5 to 5 hours. You're going to want to check it, because what you're looking for is that chicken cooked all the way through, and the cabbage is not crunchy, unless you prefer that. I only know of a couple people who do, but I like my cabbage and all my vegetables cooked all the way through to where they're soft. So that's what you're looking for. The cabbage is going to take longer than the rest of the vegetables since they were canned. So sitting in liquid, they're already soft, but they will be fine once the chicken is cooked all the way through. So when you look at your chunks, as long as it is white all the way through, it is cooked. And as long as your cabbage is soft, it is cooked, it's good to go. You can then turn it off and you can serve it. Other seasoning that I did add to it was rosemary and thyme. I did about 2 to 3 pinches of both the rosemary and thyme in it. Mix it up really well, put the lid on it, put it on high, and let it go. Other than that, very easy. If you have to be away longer, if you're away at work, put it on low. High is going to be if you're only going to be away for a couple of hours. If you're going to work for an 8-hour shift, put it on low and leave it on low. Then when you get home from work, it should be cooked all the way through, and it'll be fine, and you won't be risking burning anything. Other than that, that is it, you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your week. I am not going to put out videos regularly. I'm not going to sit and say that I'm going to put them out once a week, but when I have the ingredients and when I go on and make a video, I will upload video. So be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can get notifications when I do upload a new video. All right, you guys, thanks.